there, this is Nightline and I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan. The top stories. MACC bus smuggling syndicate seizes 1.6 million litres of diesel. And RMN vessel sinks after suffering massive leak. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim arrived in Bandar Seri Begawan on Sunday night for a two-day working visit as part of the 25th Malaysia-Brunei Darussalam Annual Leaders Consultation ALC. On hand to welcome him at Brunei International Airport was High Commission of Malaysia to Brunei Sharjah Affair Nur Ezira Mahadi, Brunei's Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Second Finance and Economy Minister Datuk Seri Setia Dr. Awang Muhammad Amin Liu Abdullah, and Second Foreign Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Setia Awang Eriwan Pehin Datuk Pekerma Jaya Muhammad Yusof were also present. Accompanying Anwar on the visit are Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Haji Nur, Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan, Higher Education Minister Datuk Seri Zamri Abdul Qadir, and Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq, among others. The entourage proceeded to the Empire Hotel for a pre-council meeting with other delegates. On Monday, Anwar will depart for Istana Nurul Iman to have a private audience with Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah to review the progress of bilateral cooperation and witness the signing of several bilateral agreements. A media conference at the airport is expected before he departs for Kuala Lumpur. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has smashed a subsidised diesel smuggling syndicate in Sarawak on Sunday. In an operation at an oil storage depot in Cebu, 2 barrels and some oil tanks containing 1.6 million litres of diesel were seized. 3 men and 2 women aged between 30 and 60 had been picked up. Those arrested included 4 petrol station operators believed to be the masterminds behind the diesel smuggling activities, as well as a middleman suspected of being involved in transactions with foreign buyers. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said the syndicate is believed to be operating since 2012, making profits up to 400 million ringgit through the sale of subsidized diesel for the use of fishermen to outside parties. All the 5 suspects will be taken to the Cebu Magistrates Court for a remand application to facilitate probe. A Royal Malaysian Navy RMN vessel KD Pendekar has sunk after suffering a massive leak and flooding off the coast of Johor on Sunday. All 39 crew members were safely evacuated and salvage operations are currently underway. In a statement, RMN said that KD Pendekar had struck an underwater object at noon, about 2 nautical miles southeast of Tanjung Penyusup near Pengerang, while conducting an operation in the area. The leak, initially detected in the ship's engine room, caused water to flood the vessel rapidly and uncontrollably. Despite the crew's efforts to stem the leak and stabilize the ship, they were ultimately forced to evacuate. Thanks to the swift actions of the maritime community, all 39 crew members of the fast attack craft were successfully rescued before the ship fully submerged at 3:45 p.m. No injuries have been reported and the crew has been relocated to KD Sultan Ismail in Tanjung Pengalih. Navy assets are on site to monitor the situation and ensure security in the surrounding area. RMN also said it will establish a special committee to immediately determine the cause of the incident. It also called on the public to refrain from spreading unverified information about the incident. Earlier, images and videos of the incident went viral on social media, showing efforts to evacuate the crew members. The vessel was constructed at a shipyard in Sweden and launched in 1978, before it was commissioned into the RMN fleet the following year. The search and rescue SAR operation to locate a foreign woman who fell into a sinkhole at Jalan Masjid India on Friday is now employing a new method to flush the sewers in an effort to find the victim. Kuala Lumpur Datuk Bandar Datuk Seri Maimunah Muhammad Sharif said the decision to use the flushing technique was made after previous efforts to locate the victim had been unsuccessful. At a media conference near the site of the sinkhole on Sunday, Maimunah said that Indah Water Consortium IWK will begin flushing operations at its Pantai Dalam sewage treatment plant to remove any possible blockage and debris in the sewer system. According to the SAR team earlier, they found the flow of water was rather slow in the focus search area at the 5th and 6th manholes located at Bank Pertanian Lebuh Pasar Besar and Kinabalu roundabout.
Pihak Brukir juga akan menjalankan kerja-kerja flushing di hiliran. Ya, kita flush, dimaklumkan juga pihak UK telah mempunyai mapping yang lengkap dalam kawasan ini dan bersetuju untuk menjalankan integrity test di kawasan ini.
She added that Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL has activated a task force to check the safety of soil structure at Jalan Masjid India and its surrounding area. The task force comprises personnel from the Mineral and Geoscience Department, Public Works Department, Police, Fire and Rescue Department, as well as the Civil Defence Force. She also assured the city, including Jalan Masjid India, is safe for visitors, and residents as well as businesses can proceed with their daily routines as usual. The victim's family is also receiving assistance from DBKL, including accommodation and meals, as well as updates on the search operation. On Friday, 48-year-old Vijaya Lechumi, a tourist from India, went missing after falling into the 8-meter deep sinkhole at 8:22 a.m. while she was on her way to a nearby temple. So far, rescuers only managed to find a pair of slippers belonging to her near the location. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim expressed sympathy for the fate of the Indian national in the sinkhole incident. The Prime Minister also directed the search and rescue operations to continue and related issues resolved.
Saya dah minta benar-benar jumpa keluarga dan kita lahirkan simpati. Kerja itu harus diteruskanlah dan ada masalah tentang tanah pun kita selesai.
Moving on, the Home Ministry is focusing its monitoring efforts on 4 main entry points to the country to assist the Health Ministry in preventing the spread of monkeypox or Mpox in Malaysia. Its Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail identified the 4 main entry points as Terminals 1 and 2 of the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, the Sultan Iskandar Building and the Sultan Abu Bakar Complex. He said that the 4 gateways of the country are given priority because 3/4 of tourist entry are through those routes. Saifuddin said that even though the current Mpox outbreak is considered to be under control, the government is maintaining a cautious approach. He added the ministry is also keeping track of rat trails along the country's borders, especially around Sungai Golok.
Laluan tikus lah. Laluan tikus ni laluan yang juga kita tahu jumlahnya, kita tahu lokasinya dan itu adalah di bawah pengawasan. Kalau polis itu di bawah PGA lah.
He spoke to the media after the investiture ceremony for state honours and awards in conjunction with the 75th birthday of the Melaka Yang di-Pertua Negeri Tun Muhammad Ali Rustam on Sunday. The World Health Organization (WHO) has declared Mpox a public health emergency of international concern for the second time in 2 years, following a new outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo that has spread to neighbouring countries. Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof stressed that it is imperative that Malaysia step up its efforts against forced labour and human trafficking in the country. The Deputy Prime Minister said the country has been upgraded to Tier 2 in the 2024 Trafficking in Persons TIP report issued by the United States Department of State in June this year. Previously, Malaysia was ranked at Tier 2 watch list in 2023, and the last time the country was at Tier 2 was in 2017.
Ini adalah satu usaha yang berterusan untuk pastikan kita akan dapat tingkatkan usaha kita dari segi kedudukan negara kita dalam konteks perdagangan manusia dan juga buruh paksa.
Fadila said this when officiating the Convention Against Workers' Exploitation at Borneo Convention Centre in Kuching on Sunday. He pointed out that though cases of forced labour and human trafficking in Malaysia were considerably low, there were still 2 reported cases in Peninsular Malaysia between January and July this year. The DPM said in 2023, a total of 12 cases were reported, of which 11 cases were reported in the peninsula and 1 in Sarawak, while in 2022 there were 15 cases in Peninsular Malaysia and 1 in Sabah. In this regard, Fadila hoped to see more programs such as the Convention Against Workers' Exploitation being organised not only at the employment sector level, but also at the school level. The relationship and cooperation of the unity government with its coalition parties, UMNO and Barisan Nasional BN, is still going on well. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim also said that currently the cooperation with UMNO remains strong.
Pada peringkat ini kita kerjasama itu sangat memuaskan. Jadi untuk masa depan itu kita masih buka ruang untuk berbincang secara baik.
He spoke to the media after officiating the All-Malaysian Mosque Summit for Al-Aqsa and Palestine in conjunction with the 2024 World Mosque Day celebration at the Kuala Lumpur Federal Territory Mosque on Sunday. He was commenting on UMNO President Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's statement during the UMNO General Assembly, which warned its members not to be swayed by the slanders and accusations of the opponent to the point of creating suspicion among themselves. Ahmad Zahid wanted every member and level of leadership, including the Supreme Council, to put aside their differences in an effort to strengthen the party so that UMNO would return to dominance in the 16th General Election, GE16. And earlier in his speech, Anwar said that Malaysia will consider providing additional aid to support injured Palestinians if there is a need. However, there have been no discussions yet about the next phase of assistance for the injured Palestinians. According to Anwar, the focus is now on providing medical treatment for the 41 injured Palestinians, including an 8-month-old baby who was brought into Malaysia on August 15th. All of them received further treatment at a military hospital.
Kemudian kita undi dengan Mesir yang telah menampung, Emirat, Saudi, Turki, Qatar. Jadi kita tengok kalau ada keperluan kita boleh bincang.
The Prime Minister also slammed those who question the government's efforts to bring injured Palestinians to Malaysia for treatment. He described the remarks made by some individuals as rude and lacking in basic human compassion.
Yang kononnya katakan kalau bawa rakyat Palestin jangan jejak ke bumi Sarawak. Itu pandangan yang paling apa istilahnya biadab. Ya, tidak tahu arti kemanusiaan.
Recently, a non-governmental organisation, NGO leader from Sarawak, Paul Sia, uploaded a statement on social media questioning the government's actions in bringing injured Palestinians to Malaysia. The Gerakan Perubahan Sarawak leader, among others, urged the state government not to allow the wounded Palestinians to enter Sarawak. Hezbollah launches missile barrage at Israel. This and more from the foreign front when we return.
Dia seorang yang kecil orang dia. Adakah dia seorang penjenayah?
Pastikan semua tu berjalan lancar. Duit memang okey ya.
Benda ni takkan kurang kalau kata masyarakat kita pun bersekongkol sekali.
Diam.
Kecuali masyarakat kita ni ada semangat cinta Malaysia tu negara dia.
Menarik di MACC.
Mengenang jasa perjuangan dan pengorbanan demi sebuah kemerdekaan.
Mpox atau cacar monyet ketahui gejala dan rawatan.
Kemalangan jalan raya melibatkan kanak-kanak, adakah ibu bapa yang harus dipertanggungjawabkan?
Istimewa Hari Kebangsaan kami bawakan raptai secara langsung pada hari Khamis.
Kesan kenaikan gaji kepada kerancakan ekonomi dalam soal wang.
MACC Isnin hingga Jumaat di TV3.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Bagi saya, ini adalah penyambung zaman ataupun wasilah Kerana kalau tidak ada pemetaan ini, kita tidak dapat lihat dan tidak dapat mengkaji.
Kita akan refresh balik detail tu, kapal tu ada ke tidak setiap setahun, 2 tahun.
Orang mesti ingat dalam tu banyak harta karun ke apa. Kami lebih menghargai daripada segi bentuk dia, sejarah dia, apa ada kat sekeliling dia.
We're back with news from the foreign front. Indonesia's election body secured Parliament's nod on Sunday to issue new rules in line with demands from protesters who have been furious over an attempt by allies of outgoing President Joko Widodo to change eligibility requirements in their favour. According to the election body's acting chief, Muhammad, the regulations align with a constitutional court decision to maintain the minimum candidacy age at 30 and streamline party nominations. It came after the parliament accelerated discussions to adhere to the court's decision, which could impact future nominations, such as preventing Jokowi's 29-year-old son, Kaisang Pangarep, from running in regional elections. However, the policy shift allows Prabowo Subianto's presidential election rival, Anies Baswedan, to be nominated for Jakarta governor again. Protests flared up in several cities in the country last week, with critics accusing Jokowi of trying to consolidate power before stepping down for Prabowo in October. Also in Indonesia, at least 13 people were killed, 2 others injured and several missing after flash floods and landslides damaged homes and infrastructure in Indonesia's eastern North Maluku province on Sunday. The country's disaster management agency BNPB said the floods caused by heavy rain since Saturday had also badly damaged several houses and roads in Ternate City. Citing forecasts that heavy rain may continue in the next few days, BNPB warned local residents to be on guard. The agency added that it has deployed a team to help evacuate the victims. In the meantime, search and rescue agency Basarnas said that efforts to evacuate victims who were hit by landslides and debris swept along by floodwaters were ongoing. In May, flash floods and mudslides in Indonesia's West Sumatra province have killed more than 60 people. Hezbollah has successfully completed the first phase of a retaliatory attack on Israel on Sunday in response to the killing of Commander Fuad Shukr at the end of July. The Lebanese group said it fired more than 320 Katyusha rockets at 11 Zionist military bases and barracks, including the Meron base and 4 sites in the occupied Golan Heights. The Zionist military meanwhile claimed it thwarted a larger attack with preemptive airstrikes targeting over 40 Hezbollah launch sites in southern Lebanon with 100 jets after assessing an imminent barrage by Hezbollah. Following the tit-for-tat attacks, 3 deaths were confirmed in Lebanon and none in Israel, where damage was reported to be limited. In the meantime, Hezbollah indicated it was not planning further strikes yet. Sunday's strikes came as negotiators were meeting in Cairo in a last-ditch effort to conclude a halt to the fighting in Gaza. At least 35 people have been killed in 2 separate bus accidents in northeast and southwest Pakistan on Sunday. According to the country's Interior Ministry, at least 12 died and 32 others injured when a bus carrying pilgrims returning from Iran for a religious commemoration veered off the road on the Makran coastal highway in the southwest province of Balochistan. Officials said the driver lost control when the brakes failed while passing through Lasbela district. Hours later, 23 people were killed, including 2 women and a child, when a bus fell into a ravine in Kahuta district in Pakistan's eastern Punjab province. It was reported that the bus was heading to the Pakistan-administered disputed Himalayan region of Kashmir when it fell from the Pana Bridge. Road accidents occur frequently in Pakistan due to inadequate infrastructure, poorly maintained vehicles and reckless driving. In Australia, at least 4 people, including a police officer, were injured in a mass stabbing in Sydney the latest in a series of stabbing attacks in the city this year. It was earlier reported that a car had been driving erratically before colliding into another vehicle at the intersection of the Princess Highway and Old Bush Road in Engadine. Police allege that a 58-year-old male driver was attacking his passenger, a 48-year-old woman he was in a relationship with a box cutter while driving. The man, who appeared to be suffering from stab wounds, was later found by officers allegedly running from the scene. He was then pursued on foot, tasered and taken into custody. It is understood that of those injured, 4 suffered knife injuries, including a bystander who assisted the woman. Norris ends Verstappen's unbeaten home record. Sports after this breather.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Bagi saya, ini adalah penyambung zaman ataupun wasilah. Kerana kalau tidak ada pemetaan ini, kita tidak dapat lihat dan tidak dapat mengkaji.
Kita akan refresh balik detail tu, kapal tu ada ke tidak setiap setahun, 2 tahun.
Orang masih ingat dalam tu banyak harta karun ke apa. Kami lebih menghargai daripada segi bentuk dia, sejarah dia, apa ada kat sekeliling dia.
Betul! Dia seorang yang kecil, orang dia. Adakah dia seorang penjenayah?
Pastikan semua tu berjalan lancar. Duit memang okey ya.
Benda ni takkan kurang kalau kata masyarakat kita pun bersekongkol sekali.
Diam!
Kecuali masyarakat kita ni ada semangat cinta Malaysia tu, negara dia.
We're back with sports. Badminton, the 2024 Japan Open. National men's doubles pair Goza Fei Nur Izzuddin Rumsani created a sensation by claiming their first victory of the season after defeating the world champions from South Korea Kang Min-hyuk Seo Seong-jae on Sunday. The 12th-ranked pair, who initially fell behind in the first set, managed to rise to level the score at 15-all before ending the match with a 21-19 victory. The second set saw the national duo continue their winning momentum to dominate the match before ending the game 21-15 to win the title and took home $62,900 in prize money. The victory ended the 22-year drought of the national men's doubles in Japan Open after Chan Chong-min, Chiu Chun-eun last won it in 2002. And on to Formula One, the Dutch Grand Prix. Lando Norris overcame a poor start to win the race on Sunday and become the first driver to beat Max Verstappen at the champion's home race, as well as taking another bite out of Verstappen's standings lead. McLaren's Norris started on pole position but was slow off the line, allowing Red Bull driver Verstappen into the lead. Norris, however, managed to close the gap and overtook Verstappen into the opening corner on the 18th lap and was then on course for his second career win and the McLaren team's third of the year. Red Bull's triple world champion Verstappen finished second and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc was third after holding off Norris's teammate Oscar Piastri. The gap between Verstappen and Norris now stands at 70 points. Retiree charged with fraud and misappropriating funds. The details when Nightline returns.
Dia seorang yang kecil orang dia. Adakah dia seorang penjenayah?
Pastikan semua tu berjalan lancar. Duit memang okey ya.
Benda ni takkan kurang kalau kata masyarakat kita pun bersekongkol sekali.
Diam.
Kecuali masyarakat kita ni ada semangat cinta Malaysia tu negara dia.
Menarik di MACC.
Mengenang jasa perjuangan dan pengorbanan demi sebuah kemerdekaan.
Mpox atau cacar monyet ketahui gejala dan rawatan.
Kemalangan jalan raya melibatkan kanak-kanak, adakah ibu bapa yang harus dipertanggungjawabkan?
Istimewa Hari Kebangsaan kami bawakan raptai secara langsung pada hari Khamis.
Kesan kenaikan gaji kepada kerancakan ekonomi dalam soal wang.
MACC Isnin hingga Jumaat di TV3.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
On TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Welcome back. A government retiree pleaded not guilty in the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court on Sunday to 13 counts of using false documents and misappropriating funds belonging to a union amounting to almost 141,000 ringgit 4 years ago. A former Assistant Environmental Health Officer at the Kuala Terengganu City Council, MBKT, 58-year-old Jeffrey Wahab made the plea before Judge Muhammad Azhar Othman. Jeffrey was charged with 2 counts of using bank account statement documents under the name of the Terengganu branch of the Peninsular Malaysia Amalgamated National Union Local Authorities Employees, ANILE, between 2019 and 2020, involving a sum of over 111,000 ringgit, which he allegedly knew to be false. The accused was alleged to have committed the offence at MBKT on June 28, 2020. The charges framed under the Penal Code provide for a maximum jail term of 2 years, a fine or both upon conviction. Jeffrey was also charged with 11 counts of misappropriating 29,200 ringgit belonging to Tabung Kebajikan Anulai of the Terengganu branch for his personal use while serving as the union's treasurer. The offences involving transactions ranging from 200 ringgit to 6,000 ringgit were allegedly committed between January 15th and July 23rd, 2020 at a bank in Kuala Terengganu. The charges under the Penal Code provide for imprisonment of up to 5 years and with whipping and liable to a fine if convicted. The court set bail at 15,000 ringgit and fixed September 25th for mention of the case. Also in Terengganu, 2 men were killed in a collision involving a car and a high-powered motorcycle in Kampung Baru, Kuala Besut around 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. Both men suffered severe head and bodily injuries and died at the scene. The victims were identified as 59-year-old Aziz Deris and 38-year-old Muhammed Alfendi Chetmat Noor. The accident is believed to have occurred when Aziz, who was the car driver, made a sudden U-turn from the left side of the road. The motorcyclist, who was on the right lane and riding in the same direction as the car, failed to brake in time and crashed into the vehicle on the driver's side. Their bodies were sent to the Besut Hospital for post-mortem. The accident is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. And that wraps up this edition of Nightline. We leave you with visuals of the Yulan Cultural Festival 2024 in Victoria Park in Hong Kong. It features a variety of cultural events such as offerings for ancestors, live Chiu Chow operas and a paper crafting exhibition. With that, I'm Muhammed and Hamdan. Thanks for tuning in and stay safe, Malaysia.